As mentioned in my previous episode, the reason Bradbury was so successful is because of his deep thoughts and statements on this theme. In Fahrenheit 451, I can identify three main themes: the oversaturation of short-form media, the slow yet impending doom of censorship, and the power a government holds over their citizens' minds. Short-form media is a term used for media that appeals to those with shortened attention spans. This definition applies to all humans, however, as longer attention spans can still take interest in it. A modern-day example of short-form media would be TikTok. Bradbury could not have known, though, that we would eventually spend hours on end looking at TikTok and short videos, and he could have. He predicted it perfectly, because Mildred does this exact thing by watching tiny movies on their huge TV for hours on end. The second form of short-form media is still images. Things such as posters, billboards, and advertisements need to be exciting enough to hold someone's attention span long enough to actually read them. Usually they'll implement tactics, such as big words and bright, colorful images. In the novel, Mildred mentions that there are billboards that are 200 feet long to make sure you actually read them while you're on the road. 200 feet is just absurd. The final form of short-term media is radio. Have you ever noticed that radio stations speak in a quick, sometimes funny-sounding voice? That makes them memorable. You will still remember the station afterwards because of their strange, sometimes annoying voice. If that is true, then their tactics are working. Mildred listens to the radio in her ear all day. She's gotten to the point where she talks only by reading lips. If that isn't short-term media as worse, I'm not sure what is. Bradbury's second theme, censorship. Censorship is a massive issue in society. Some powers, like North Korea and China, censor nearly all outside data from their inhabitants. Just to visit North Korea, you're required to delete every piece of media on your phones before entering the country. Bradbury's society implements a similar trait. All books, a form of media, are burned in order to live in the city. Bradbury's assumptions about censorship in the future were entirely correct for some parts of the world. Censorship, in a way, is even being applied to schools as I speak. Recently, some books are being removed from libraries for being inappropriate or culturally incorrect, even if they were fine for the time they were written. As the year increases, human tolerance decreases. Eventually, like Bradbury predicted, books may just become desensitized nonsense made to appeal to every single minority. The government, within Fahrenheit 451, acts as a dictatorship, but with many rulers. The citizens have zero control over their actions, words, or even thoughts. Through the push of a button, the government can arrest someone, set their house on fire, or even bomb the city. The short-form media and censorship added together creates an ugly amalgamation consisting of a dictatorship, mindless citizen population, and corrupt workforce. All of this just so happens to be happening right now on the other side of the world. China is in political turmoil, with its government ruling everything. The citizens are starting to become desensitized and brainwashed. Someday, all governments could strive for this kind of power.